Hey guys, Crewman here. And as you guys know, I have a Bc250 rig. I did a review on it, and one of the things I talked about was that I only had 11 in there because I didn't want to push the power supplies to about 100% usage. I mistakenly said I didn't want to push them past 80%, but I still don't regret leaving one out as they use quite a bit of power. And I had that one sitting around, and I was like, well, these things are still computers. And we know they're computers because they take a lot of work to run. As you can see, the 12 Ethernet cables, the 12 USB sticks, they're just a pain in the rear to fully run. Anyway, the fact that they're full computers made me wonder, what if we attached more GPUs to these things? What if we use these instead of your standard CPU motherboard RAM combo? We could use them for things like test benches. We could even use them in mining rigs because most of the time your CPU, motherboard, and RAM are not mining. Well, that changes things. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the first idea I had, which was to use a BC250 on an open air rig, and let's see how it works. So without further ado, let's get to the results. So essentially here the rig is in all its glory. It is a BC250 powering a RTX 3070 and a RTX 3080 Ti 20 gig. Probably do a quick video on this soon. I actually have to send it back to its owner. This is not mine. I've been borrowing it for a little bit, playing around with it. So my thoughts were, right, that since it's powered by basically a 6-pin, it's pretty easy to power. You know, you can just rig up a fan. I took two Noctua fans and kind of just rigged them up. Obviously, it has some limitations. Namely, the idea is you would only even be able to put 4 max in. However, I was not able to do that. I have multiple splitters. I could not get more than 2 of these to function. It wouldn't actually boot with more than 2. And the problem is, there's only 3 GPUs in here. Well, 4 technically. There's this rig, and then I've got this one right here, and I guess I have 3 KS Pros and a Jazz Miner in here. But look at the temperature in here. It is almost 90 degrees. Obviously, there's no cooling in here because it's just a garage. But this thing is running hot. This thing is running at like 80 degrees, and I can't CPU and GPU mine. So, I mean, I guess you could use this as a test bench, right? Like, it would be a cheap, easy test bench. You wouldn't have to buy any of this stuff, like a motherboard, CPU riser, like CPU, RAM. You wouldn't have to buy any of that. Now, even though this is basically just like, this was free and this stuff is pretty cheap, still, you could theoretically just buy some BC250s and use them as test benches. Like, I mean, they only cost about like $67 when you divide them out by 12, and then you get the server case for free. So maybe it's not the worst idea, and you could still mine either on the CPU or the GPU. And I mean, I'm going to try maybe if I can cool it better, like maybe put a box fan on it, but then at that point, it's obviously not worth it. This was just kind of a test to see if we could do it. This has been on, I want to say this has been on for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. It crashes every now and then just because it was so hot. I moved some GPUs out of here. And it's still running kind of hot. I mean, this thing just runs hot. So, as far as using it for an open air rig, I mean, you can only really fit 2 on it. But I guess you could theoretically, like, line them up, right? You could put, like, 1, 1, and 1. I mean, so you could theoretically have, like, 9 GPUs. You just have to figure out a way to cool it better than this. Maybe like a box fan or something. So, I mean, is it practical? I mean, it's not practical per se, but like these things are still mining away. I don't know. I think it's kind of better to use as like a test bench. When you need it, you use it. When you don't, you kind of just leave it off. Now, I'm probably not putting this one back in as I've got a lot of other things I want to test it out and use it on. And I am going to try putting this in a server case. I think it might work better in a server case. So I have that coming soon. So we'll see how that goes. But as far as using it as an open air frame, meh. I mean, I can't. If anybody else can get more than 2 GPUs working on this thing, let me know, because I was not able to. So Thank you again for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to see more wacky ways you can use the BC250. Croup Man out.